I'll second it. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes from last week. All in favor? Aye. And Jim's not here today. He's given us 4 or 5 weeks notice before that he wouldn't be at this meeting. So we'll try not to make any big decisions that there's big repercussions from. So he's not here. And we have one add and abate. Amount is, and that's number 2020-192 in the amount of $296. Make a motion that we approve this add and abate. Been moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Make a motion we approve the bills in the amount of $357,647.61.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Cindy, what you got? Anything?
The local workforce development chief elected official board agreement. This is something, it's from the Kansas Work, Southeast Kansas Works.
Okay. Gary, seen it?
Did I copy it on that one?
You seen that?
Yeah.
We good?
I didn't know much about it. It looked fine to me.
Yeah, I don't know much about it either.
Now we'll look at it through it and then
I have
Yes.
the one from previous year if you want.
we have signed it before? Okay, I'll look at it. Okay. All right, Gary, you got anything?
Nothing personal.
Kevin, good morning.
Good morning, Commission. Kevin Franklin, County Sheriff. As far as our numbers go, total prisoner counts 24. We have 17 in-house, 7 farmed out. Last week we had 142 911 calls and 327 calls for service. So that number was down about 150 from the week before. So probably where it ought to be. This week before was crazy busy. This past week, we had a pretty massive jail clean out where we farmed out the majority of our prisoners, of our inmates, and we washed, scrubbed, painted everything in the jail facility, and it looks really nice. So the staff's really proud of that. And then as well, we started our update on Wednesday for our new equipment. That was approved back in November, December, to go into communications for our new radio service, new radio platform, really, same service, just a different platform that serves our repeaters and towers. So that's been going pretty well. They worked on it Wednesday and Thursday, and they will continue to work on it today and tomorrow. It should finish tomorrow afternoon. Last week, just so the public knows, of course, we've done a lot of storm siren testing because our new system allows us to strike about all the storm sirens in the county now. We have a couple of exceptions, and those exceptions are Pleasanton, and we're talking with them, trying to get a little bit different thing on their system to work a little bit better. But that was really about the only one. I think we had some trouble with the Centerville siren. So it was really a good time to test and find flaws in the equipment that's in the field. We should experience that to be done tomorrow, and we will go back into probably a secondary testing phase on that equipment, just so we can know that we can strike each and every siren in the county at some point if we have access to it. So. But that was all pretty successful. I'm proud of where we're getting with it. Just a couple more days to work on it.
Okay. You got
That's
anything?
all I have. Any questions?
And you're aware that we have that huge amplifier system that I think we used it at the rodeo before. It pulls behind a truck and you can hear from here to Lacine with it. Yeah.
Right, yeah. All right, guys. Have a good day.
Yep, you too. Cindy did it. She tried to blame it on her replacement. I wouldn't let her. Hey, Mark.
Well, we were trying to.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mine's on.
So far for the last 7 days, we're at 14 transports. And for the month to date, we're at 45 transports. So a little bit on the slower side. I'd let you know we were going to participate in the mock MVC drill at the Pleasanton High School. And that was rescheduled for weather because we wanted to involve the helicopter. And then that was completed on Wednesday, and it went well. The helicopter was able to come. So that was a good bit of outreach and just kind of providing awareness and a visual experience for the high schoolers. Something the school is wanting to do kind of before getting close to prom time when kids are going to be out driving around. And I think that's, we have a planning meeting coming up with the city of Pleasanton that one of my supervisors will attend to be planning for the motorcycle rally here in June. So we'll be involved with that. And I also sent that information over to Doug Bartlett because he hadn't had it yet, just to give them opportunity to be involved as well in that planning for that event.
Hey, we're setting up a date for the mayor's meeting. I'd like to have you or somebody be there. It's an evening meeting. I don't know if you can do it or not, or maybe a supervisor that's on could come in and just give the city mayors of the 7 cities a short brief about what AMR does.
Yeah.
And they probably know the people that are in the ambulance a lot of times, but it's nice to say that. And Sheriff, you're more than welcome if you'd like to come in and just say hello and give a little brief of whatever you want to talk about. We haven't set it up yet. It's going to be we'll get you a date and see. Hopefully you can attend it.
Yeah, I'll watch for the information. That would be good.
And I haven't forgotten. I've gotten some calls in on some possible modular type homes just to get an estimate of what it would cost to put one out there at the site we thought we wanted versus building the stick built one.
Out around
Both of those
Linn.
estimates, but first one I wanted to look on that one, and still talking about north or east of Stainbrooks there, that old Highway Kansas site there,
Sure,
and see if it's doable.
sure.
So I'm still working on it. I've got 2 calls and I'm just waiting on something back for them.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Good to know.
I went to that mock wreck and it was pretty cool. Sheriff's guys, you guys, everybody did a wonderful job. And I think
Good
it was
to hear.
pretty, what do you guys think about doing do you guys do any other schools, Kevin? Do any other schools in the county do that?
Yeah, they're on I think they plan on a rotation or something. So it was their year, next year it'll be somewhere else. I think that's how they're planning.
Would they ever do like a county one, you think?
School resource officers do that program.
They set all that up? Okay.
Glad you got to see it. All right, anything for me?
Oh, sir. Thank
Have
you.
a good week.
You get to go.
I have a lot today. We had our April meeting last week for economic development. We awarded our youth employment grants for this summer.
Good.
I was really excited this year. We had 17 different entities apply, and
Good.
we had 30 positions requested. So not everybody got a grant. We had 10 to give out this year.
Okay.
But I was really excited with our response. So the 10 that we awarded were to the Lake Shop in Linn Valley, Cox Motor Company in Pleasanton, White Elephant Buttress in Mound City, Dreamscape Innovations in Mound City, S&K Oil Production in Blue Mound, Linn County News in Pleasanton, Double K Construction in Mound City Butcher Block, Wade Remodeling out of Centerville, and Netherfield Natural Farms in Fontana. We had one, we did set up People's Telecom as an alternate, so if one of those 10 that were awarded don't turn in their documentation September 1st, then that grant will roll to People's.
I just want to ask, how did Fontana get involved in it? Netherfield.
They're in Linn County.
Are they?
Yes.
Linn County?
They're just this side of the border. Yes.
Okay.
So how did you determine who got those? Was it like first come, first serve, or?
So, next year we're going to add that in. So we did, the first determination was public versus private businesses. So we took out cities. And then from there, we went on job descriptions. We looked at who's applied multiple years, things of that sort, whether they marked the job as a permanent or a seasonal job. The permanent jobs got priority. So
Good.
there are quite a few different factors to look at.
Awesome. And just explain when the businesses get okay to do that, what are they getting provided to them?
So the Economic Development Department will reimburse the business up to 30 hours a week for their youth that they hire for 10 weeks, and the business has to pay them at least $8 an hour. We reimburse up to $4, as long as they pay $8. So the max for the grant is $1,200. They have to turn their documentation in by September 1, and then we reimburse them.
Awesome.
Okay. Anyone who's interested in applying for these positions goes through the business, not the county, but we post the businesses in the courthouse. I'll put it on Facebook. We put it in the newspaper. It'll be in the minutes. So we try to advertise for the businesses who got them. We have 2 new members for my Economic Development Committee that the committee is recommending to you all to appoint.
Okay.
The first one is Josh Baldwin out of District 2, and the second one is Clint Eastwood out of District 3. I don't know if we want to.
What's the balance?
That'll be 3 from each district,
Okay.
which is what we updated the bylaws to include. I don't know if you want to wait till Jim's here to appoint for his district, or if you want to just go ahead and do it this week.
Does he know about it?
Yes, he was at the meeting. Yes,
Okay.
as the commission representative.
Well, we won't do his because he's not here.
Okay.
You too.
Okay, so
What's
if
the
you would
person's name?
appoint Josh Baldwin.
Go ahead.
Make a motion that we appoint Josh Baldwin for my district for the
Second district?
economic development.
Okay. Second, all in favor? Aye. And we'll wait on the third. next
Okay,
week.
I'll bring that next week then. Okay, we need to appoint a representative from Linn County to the Regional Planning Commission Loan Committee. Right now, the Linn County representative is listed as Craig Van Wy, who is the Southeast Kansas District Representative for Commerce. He's not in any way specifically Linn County. He works for Commerce, so they're moving him to an at-large position, and they would like you guys have to appoint a representative from the county.
Do you have some, maybe? Did the board look it over?
I go anyway, so if you want to appoint me, that's fine. The meetings are in Chanute at the Regional Planning Commission. Or if you would rather appoint someone else, that's fine.
We'll just do it next week. Do
Okay.
you need it today?
No, I don't think so. I think we need it by next
That way
week,
we'll
though.
have Jim.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so the CDBG applications. So I've got 3 that are outstanding. And if those 3 complete all their documentation, that'll be $25,000 worth of grant money. That leaves us roughly 35 left. I discussed with my Economic Development Committee, and we've also talked to I've talked to Regional Planning, and they've talked to Commerce. I would like to cut off any new applications and offer the businesses who have already been awarded money a chance to get more money from the grant, because I've got 2 months left, and I'm still begging people to fill out applications.
Okay.
So Commerce is perfectly fine with this idea. They suggested just offering to get the same grant amount again. So if a business got $5,000 to get that amount again, or if they got $10,000 to get that amount again, they would not have to resubmit an application. They would just have to.
I don't know that I would agree with that, but
They would have to resubmit. They would have to submit.
when do you need an answer? But you got 2. We'll talk with Jim. I'm pushing everything off because it should be a choice of 3 people instead of 2. I'm not excited about that because it's just too easy to say, hey, you want another 5,000? You got it before. And,
Well, I understand that, but we've been doing this for months and I can't, it's like pulling teeth. It's, the application process is not easy. And
no, it's not. I understand they go through a
Keep in
lot.
mind, the amount they originally got was not based on need, it was arbitrary.
it was right. Everybody who applied got $132,000.
And so
Okay.
if they were qualified then, they probably, I'm not trying to talk you into
No,
it,
I know.
But it wasn't like all they really needed was whatever they got.
Right.
They had a bigger need and they gave them a little bit.
Either 5 or 10,000. Yes, the businesses. So,
We'll work it out next week. And maybe I'm wrong.
okay.
It just, I got you now.
The paperwork is really what's, I think my wife looked at it and was like, I'm not doing this paperwork.
Yes, it's intense. You have to go dig into your records. You have to have receipts. Not everybody keeps receipts, or not everybody keeps them, filed very well. And it's just,
So what happens if we don't get all the money? Do we have to pay all that back, or how's that work?
well, no, we only get, so Linn County only gets the money from Commerce as we award grants. They did not give us a lump sum. So the money is still housed at Commerce. They will just keep it.
Do you have
if
any more
we don't
meetings coming up?
award it.
When's
Yeah.
your next meeting?
Next, the third Wednesday.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted to wait and talk to your group about that then.
I did. They like the idea.
They do?
Yeah, I did on last Wednesday.
Okay.
They like the idea. They're
Well, we'll decide next week, okay? That
Okay.
way Jim will be involved and
okay.
he can be happy. together.
I have, so last week we awarded the Schaefer Automotive CDBG grant. I did not have the agreement because they had SBA funds as well, so we just need to sign this agreement.
I made a motion for that.
No, we've already agreed.
Because we already awarded them, do we need a motion? Okay.
Need anything else?
I need 10 and 5 people. And then I think I'm done.
Awesome. Okay. Tisha?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Tisha Coleman, Linn County Health Department. COVID update is 819 total cases. 26 of those are active. 2 are hospitalized, 12 deaths, 0 clusters. Testing, I did not get I didn't update those numbers, so I will have to get that to you next week. Sorry.
How many new cases do we have this week from last week?
So I want to say we were at 15 or 16 last week, so 3 or 4, but we do have more active cases.
Okay.
Vaccination update, pandemic vaccinations given 2,514. 2,407 of those were Moderna, 107 are Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson is still paused. 1,240 prime doses, 1,167 boost doses have been given. 107 Johnson & Johnson. And to date, we've wasted 13 Moderna over the course and 2 Johnson & Johnson. Last week, we administered 77 doses of COVID vaccine. That would be prime and boost. Future vaccination clinics are April 29th, May 7th, and May 13th at the health department. And we are doing boost and prime doses. Walk-ins are available on those mornings, and we're working on a social media post and a thing to put on the website to notify people of that, for no appointment necessary in the mornings.
Okay, good. And has that gone pretty well
As far as
attendance and
So
process and
the
everything?
77 is probably the lowest number we've given
Uh-huh,
in a week. I mean,
right.
not the lowest number given, but
Right.
here recently. You know what I mean? So yes, it is definitely slowing down. Vaccine percentage rates, I'm still working on that with KDHE to get the way to run that report. The report they told me to run gives us what our clinic has done, but I'm trying to get it for the county. It is National Infant Immunization Week, And one of those packets that I passed around has the immunizations that we provide, and just kind of want to overview. We are, like I said, it's National Infant Immunization Week, and we have many posts that are going on social media about infant vaccinations and encourage patients to get their children vaccinated. Thanks to vaccine, there are 14 diseases that sometimes we forget about, which used to be prevalent in the United States. Children can be vaccinated with the list of vaccinations that I've given to you by the age of 2. Those are like polio, tetanus, pertussis, MMR. Those are all vaccine preventable diseases. Vaccines are among the most successful and cost-effective public health tools available for preventing disease and death. Vaccines also help protect both individuals and communities by preventing and reducing the spread of infectious diseases. Among children born between 1994 and 2018, vaccination will prevent an estimated of 419 million illnesses, 26.8 million hospitalizations, and 936,000 deaths over their lifetimes. Vaccination is a shared responsibility. Families, healthcare professionals, and public health officials must work together to help protect the community. I just kind of gave you that little blurb, just kind of talking about vaccinations. You know, with COVID, our vaccinations for people coming into the office for their infants and things like that has kind of slowed down. And I think just people a little worried about getting out and stuff like that. But we're trying to really amp that up to keep our childhood illnesses at bay.
Do the schools do the shot programs too?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's that. And then also, I gave you a list of our updated numbers for our January, February, and March. You'll note on there that COVID disease investigations is blank. I'm waiting on KDHE to get me the report for that,
Okay.
to give you a heads up. As soon as I get that, I will update that and give that to you. I did order extra shelving for the rest of our supplies so that we could get them off the floor in the storage room. And if any department has their PPE that is kind of overrunning their department, they can store those over there at the health department as well.
Okay.
I would like to, we had talked about when we were doing the critical infrastructure grant, ordering electronic key card accesses for the health department. The expenditure was approved through that grant, and it's for security access. And I'm worked with Chris on them, and they're $540 each. And for all 5 exterior doors and the storage door, the record room, and the lab, it would be $4,320. I mean, I think it's under the 5,000, and I think maybe you talked about, I heard you talk about waiting till Jim got back, but I didn't know if that was okay to go ahead and purchase that, or if you.
How much is it total?
$4,300.
Yes, it's okay.
Vaccine refrigerator. One of our refrigerators has been giving us an error code. We had maintenance done on it, and the error code is a fan that they recommend changing. It's not giving us problems now, but as part of maintenance, it would be recommended to go ahead and get that fixed. And it's going to cost about $1,219. We could order a new refrigerator, which is about $5,000 to $8,000, but they're on back order. So just kind of letting you know that I'm going to go ahead and do that, because there's like thousands of dollars of vaccine in that fridge. And then another thing that had been approved through our grants is a branding for our health department. So I would like to work with, the schools, and then this one person that had done a graphic design for our Healthy Mind, Strong Communities, so that we could kind of get a brand or a logo specific to the health department. And is that okay? Do I have your blessing to do that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, you said it's part of the grant?
It can be part of the grant. I can get reimbursed through the grant if we do it.
Yeah, you're fine.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Future outreach events, May 4th, Jayhawk Sports Physicals and Immunization Clinic at the schools. May 12th is Prairie View, same thing. I will need 10 minutes of an executive session for personnel. And do you have anything for me?
Yes, we've gotten a card from, I guess, a Linn County resident, no name, or says, County Commissioners, a belated note of thanks and appreciation for everything that is done for the COVID vaccination events. So that's a good thing. I found everything to be well done, very organized, friendly, helpful, patient, and well-paced. I have heard this from many other people as well. Thank you. And thanks for the things you do for our county. So there you go, Kevin. Thank you for your people. It was a well-run event, and we'll keep it up until we don't have to do it anymore.
So
And we may.
do you think that, like, you go in and do the vaccine in the school, do you think that the COVID shot will be part of that one day?
I mean, it's something that we'll be able to offer. We do not have, like, currently our Moderna and our Johnson & Johnson are for 18 and older. We could offer that to the 18 and older, but we don't have the vaccine to offer to the younger students. And is that something that will change in the next 6 months or a year? I mean, I can't say. I know.
On that, do you know?
I know that Pfizer, the Pfizer vaccine can be given to 16 and older. We do not currently have that, but we have a clinic here in the county that we do refer those to. And if people call or whatever, we give them their information. Is it something that might be, I mean, it's possible. I think they're working on I think there's a I'm sure there's lots of studies going on right now. I think if you're under 18 and maybe even under 16, you can go to Children's Mercy to get that. There's maybe a trial or something like that going on.
Do you get a lot of parents asking about that?
Not a lot. Yeah. So,
That's all I have.
I don't have anything.
okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Uh-huh.
Jackie?
While you're waiting, I don't know if you mentioned to them or not, that we got a letter this week that the Spark funding had closed out. Did you don't get that? Okay. We've had the Spark thing.
Right.
And they've done all their audits now and it's closed out.
Okay.
So everything is,
So if we need a second thought and then the payment on the back, it's done, we don't have to?
there is still a year in which they could do a special audit, but that would have to be.
Good. That's good to hear. I'm Jack.
Jackie Messer, Public Works Administrator. I just wanted to remind everybody that dust control cutoff date is May 7th. We're still taking payments for that.
How many do we normally have every year?
Don't know,
Is it a bunch or just
a couple hundred.
Couple hundred? Okay.
I don't have a lot. We have training upcoming next Tuesday, May 4th for the flaggers. We've got 2 sessions with K-Works to certify our flaggers. And then the following week, we have the blade operation training. I did go Friday, had the site visit for the landfill cell construction. I had 4 vendors show up, and I took them around the site, and then we went to the airport and looked at the potential for that, and the bids close Friday.
Oh, thank you.
I do have a meeting set up Friday around 10 o'clock with Evergy. They're gonna show up at the park and do a real estate study. The guy who's writing the contract extension. So we're gonna he wanted to come out and see what we had there. So we've got a meeting set up.
Awesome.
We're gonna be working the pug mill this week, or next week rather, making the coal mix.
How many people does it take to do that?
About 4 or 5. We usually have one person on the machine, one person running the loader, one person running the dump truck, and then another one helping out or being kind of overseeing stuff. We did not do the power shutdown at the park last week. Evergy canceled because of the weather, and they've rescheduled it for tomorrow at 9 o'clock. to fix that low transformer, to raise it up. We've been working with some people who have been coming to work sick. I just wanted to emphasize to everybody, if you're sick, don't come to work. And we still are not out of the COVID problem. So I just wanted to reemphasize that we need to, our people and everybody in the county, working for the county employees and all, need to make sure they don't come to work sick.
Gotcha.
Other than that, I need about a 20-minute executive session for personnel.
Hey, Jake, I'm still getting a lot of comments on that advertising, that digital advertising board there in Pleasanton.
Yeah. Yeah, I drove by it today too, and yes, and this weekend, the sign that you got out by the road, it's way too close
Okay.
to the line. Even though it's out, if somebody comes along with something sticking over, and everybody seems to want to go around it,
Okay.
even, right?
I'll get it moved today.
And those white speedometer deals that are like, you know, in the ditch when you're driving by and it's flashing your speed, is that us or is that the state? That's Kevin, that's you. Okay, I had some people ask me about that and I wasn't for sure.
I think it'll be
it
in the
was-
mail if it
It
flies.
was borrowed from the state. It was a borrowed piece of equipment, no cost. And
Doesn't really work.
it's been moved around by the sheriff to various locations
What's it
where,
do? Just, I mean, is it like a study or does it actually,
Actually, it is a study, and what we're looking at is high-speed locations.
Is it in your area?
yeah.
So we receive a report from a firm that Jack works with, and that firm tells us based on reports, crash reports and things like that that occur in the county, what our most dangerous places are. So we have taken that instrument and deployed it to all of those locations, or the top 5 or 6 of them now. And then we can bring that back and read it and see what our average speed is. And it's really just it's an educational tool, but it's also for safety that we can keep gaining data. And then we can provide that data back to the folks who are doing the studies for us.
which we'll turn around and use for state grants for improving these sections of roads that have been identified. It's just-
I was asked if it read your license plate. I told him no.
No, it's not. It has no license plate reader in it. Yeah, it's only for speed and monitoring that.
Come on, play along.
But I think I said, well, we're not in Missouri. We don't have tags on the front, so I don't think you can see that.
Yeah, like Jack said, the piece of equipment is free. It was provided to us by the University of Kansas Traffic Safety Program. So
So we're just moving around and then read it and then,
yeah, we've been trying to move it every week or two and keep readings on the areas that we place it to see what average speeds are. And as well, it's kind of a vehicle counter too. It tells us how many cars come through the area. So
Well, I have a feeling you'll be setting a speed trap up around that area.
no, we don't work. We don't work the area that it's usually set in. We just let it do its job.
I usually have cows out on that road. Please do.
Thank you. Hey, are you on the Kansas Works Board? Southeast Kansas Works? Who works with them? What group?
This is, I barely remember ever seeing this before.
I know we sign it every year, but just, yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
K-Works.
No, it's Southeast Kansas Works. SEK.
This is something
Works.
different than K-Works.
So Kansas Works, we previous, I mean, not on,
Oh, there we go. Here we go.
well, not on the, but, we previously, they would come in, they, either we reached out to them or they reached out to us,
Right,
to try and help people find jobs, get education, different
Right.
things like that. So they had previously, pre-COVID, come to our office, I think it was every month or two, and would schedule appointments and meet people. They haven't come to our office lately, but we have reached back out to them and they're going to start coming back to our office.
okay, good. Yeah, it talks about that in here as well.
We were talking about 4 days we told Green Friar Works, and then they changed their name. Yeah, they have people in the community that are basically having trouble finding jobs and they will provide the wages.
There we go. But-
What the applicant seeking is, getting employment through the place they play.
So are they supposed to have reboot? Is that what you're talking about?
Used to be, this is an evolution of it. Now it's the latest contractor who has that contract.
And I wonder if Jessica's on that board. Somebody's got to be on the board because what we would have.
We've down a couple of times, like maybe at 4, we used it for jam.
Do they ask for money every year?
Sort of like the green thumb thing we used
Green
to do.
thumb, I said green, but it was green thumb.
Yeah. We used to do, if this is just an evolution of that, I just.
Okay, I read it. And so I'll make a motion that we go back into this agreement, which we previously had. It works with workforce, people trying to get jobs, people vaccination stuff. Anyway, I'll make a motion. We enter into this agreement for another year.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye. And now we can go into executive session.
We've got, so far.
Yep. Jessica, Tisha, yeah.
We've got 40 minutes personnel, 15 legal, and 5 trade secrets.
That's my,
No, I'm sorry, 10 trade secrets. 40 personnel, 15 legal, and 10 trade secrets.
and Jessica will go first, and we got her for 10 and 5. Is that what you got? And then Tisha's got 10. Jackie's got 20, and you got some?
Yes, I need probably 10 legal and 10 personnel.
Okay. What's the total on all that?
The total is 40, 55, 65 minutes.
My motion is to go into executive session forever. 65 minutes. 65 minutes.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye. No. Is there results from the executive session? There wasn't any for this week. We put it mainly off till next week. So when Jim gets back,
One more thing.
what do you got?
I was floating an idea and talked to Cindy just now, the handbook modifications, the annual vacation time for salary. What if we eliminated it, the caregiver portion, but still allowed it like 100 hours a year, or whatever number you said, for the salary? But they can't carry it with them. You're not gonna have to, at the end of the year, reset the year. That way you can keep the accountability, which I'm worried about, is it'll be on paper. It won't be, well, they took 30 this week and they took 33 weeks ago, and we don't know what they've taken. It'll be recorded in the payroll, but it won't be lump sum payout, which you're worried about.
We're going to talk about it next week with Jim.
That's possible.
To do it that way.
But let me just say, for the benefit of anybody listening and concerned, that that's not necessarily what's going to happen. We're going
Right.
to talk.
Just talking about it.
Yeah.
We're just talking.
Does anybody else got anything at all?
I do.
That'd be pretty good.
I have a couple things here for you, so.
It's always somebody.
You'd asked for an example
Mm.
about working after retirement. So I just did a little, kind of a comparison. So our first guy is just a regular working capers guy.
Okay.
His annual wage, if he works 40 hours a week, would be $20,800.
Okay.
His annual contribution that the county would pay for would be $2,052.
Okay.
So then your second example there is a working after retirement guy. So I gave him a wage higher than a normal person. I'm assuming you would pay him more because he has experience. So that's just something to take into account. So you see that his annual salary was $31,200, which makes it a little more. So with capers, if they're working after retirement, up to $25,000, we pay a normal capers wage or rate, just like we do anyone else.
Sure.
Once they hit 25,000, we pay 30% on top of that. So that's kind of why there's two different things there. So the annual cost for his capers would be $4,327. So that's kind of the difference that you're looking at. So you kind of have to look at wage as well. Are you going to pay that person more? And the capers is going to double depending on how many hours they work.
Sure.
I mean, and how much money they make.
But when somebody retires, you can't have an agreement with them.
You can't,
That they will
yeah.
work after retirement.
right.
And they can't work after retirement if they're on retired capers for 6 months.
Is that right?
I think that's
Okay.
Explain it again, those two scenarios.
okay. Jack getting ready to retire, we can't have a deal with them that says, okay, you retire next week, and then we're gonna hire you back part-time.
Right.
You draw capers and a salary. Can't do that.
Okay.
Second, if Jackie retires next week, and we don't have a deal with it, and he comes back in 3 months and wants to come back to work for us, we can't do that. But if he waits 6 months, he can't. I believe it's 6 months.
I think you're right.
But if he does come back in 6 months, we have to pay at a higher rate. We have to pay part of those capers back, right?
Once he hits that 25,000, then you're paying 30% instead of 9.87 or whatever that is now.
But once you hire him back, it's regardless if he made 25. It's not.
No, it's up to 20, so he can make 25,000.
So we can hire so we could foreseeably hire our capers guys back as long as they don't exceed 25,000 a year or 25,000 total.
A year.
There's your answer.
So there's
your answer.
but you're gonna,
Yeah. Call everybody that's ever worked for capers that wants a maintainer operator.
Just be very careful not to
Very.
have any kind of agreement with them in place that you're gonna do that.
no, you
Even
can't,
if it's
you
small.
can't even talk about it, no.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Not at all.
Can't talk about what?
About prearranged after retirement working. You can't-
Oh, well, I'm not. No. These are
Right.
people that's already retired, been retired
That's
for a
what Gary
year.
was saying, just to make sure you don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Why didn't we have this answer a long time ago? Come on, Jackie.
Somebody retired,
You should have asked Cindy a long time ago.
somebody retired from the military, said they don't know how to work very hard.
No, they don't. Yeah. Hurts.
No mercy.
Yeah, it hurts.
I'm just kidding. That's too harmless.
That's right.
I also have, just real quickly, we'll go into this. I'll get you kind of some real numbers, but compliance one with our random drug screenings that we had talked about doing for any employee that's
Sure.
driving or whatever, the non-DOT people. It's $4 per participant per month.
Okay.
Right now, we're paying $5.25 for our DOT.
Okay.
So it's a little cheaper, but I thought maybe what we do is compile a list of who we think that
Needs it.
need to be in. Yeah. And then we can kind of compare what that would actually cost. And
Okay. And what's the percentage they screen? Do they even say the minimum that they will do?
look this invoice to see if I have that.
I know. Yeah.
I don't know. I
They-
don't know all the details.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a random pool that they get put in
Sure.
and they pull out so many. So
So you're going to look at now that you know this answer. There's like 4 or 5 people. No hurt, no harm in asking. We could hire them part-time. You could solve our asphalt problem this year, right now. Make Danny happy. 'Cause we're. All right, I don't have anything else. Anybody else? I'll make a motion, we adjourn. Moved in second, all in favor? Aye.